welcome you to the weekly refreshing and exciting talk show, Right Turn with Joyce. This week, the show discusses disabilities, its challenges, and how people have conquered the barrier. There will also be some light entertainment. And now, here is your host, Joyce Simbala.
Right On with Joyce is a talk show that targets individuals who are in different phases of development and looking to conquer different challenges in life. On the show today, we will be discussing issues regarding disabilities, its challenges, and how people have conquered these obstacles to become successful in life. We will go on a break right now, but when we return, we'll be introducing our guests to you. Our guest for today is Dr. Cussons. He is a victim of the 1976 poliomyelitis epidemic, where he lost both limbs at the age of 1 year, 6 months old. Dr. Cussons is a business intelligence expert, a world attitude modeling professional, and alumnus of Maastricht School of Management in the Netherlands, Catholic University, KU Leuven, Belgium. Also, an alumnus of Imo State University, Owerri, Nigeria, and University of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. He is a doctor of philosophy. Dr. Cussons, apart from being a university academic, is also a serial entrepreneur and consultant. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, George.
It's nice having you.
Thank you so much.
Sir, I am curious. With a disability like yours, so many people on the streets of Nigeria who are disabled are beggars. How did you come from not having 2 legs to having all these qualifications? How did it happen?
Well, Kameni just said, attitude is more important than facts. The point is that we are not products of what happened to us. We are products of what we did with what happened to us, our perception of reality. So my perception of my physical challenge is simply something that had made me able differently.
Yeah.
For instance, I can stay one place from morning to night, but you cannot do that. What that simply means is that if you cannot do that, that means I can find out what are the dynamisms of staying one place.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm able to find those dynamisms, I can do better. You see, no job is menial, no condition is even serious. What is important is how you perceive the condition and all those. I'll give you an example, a biblical example. In 1 Samuel chapter 17, you can read the story, where Goliath came terrorizing the children of Israel.
Yeah.
When David appeared in the scene, very simple, they were calling the man the giant of Gath. When it was David's turn to talk, he said, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine to defy the Lord's army?" While everybody was going for, arrows and bow and, sword, he didn't go for that. He went for what? Stone and catapult or sling. Because he said, if this man is too big, why should I go start cutting him? With a catapult, I can say. So for me, it's about perception. And that's what happens, when you understand that every particular event is neutral. What happens is the meaning you put into that. So for me, I don't know what they call disability. What I know is that, you can have a challenge, and everybody does, but you can decide what you do with your challenge.
Yeah, the little I know about you, sir, obviously you didn't just come out of the blue and you have this confidence to be able to say this. Some time ago you shared a story and you were telling of how at the age of 6 you already had suicide instincts.
Yes.
What brought about that? How can a child just feel, I'm tired and I just want to die?
Yeah, I'm thinking that the major issue with my own physical challenge is that I have a brain that you can call, advanced, right from childhood. And then I have a leg that is limited. So generally, I knew the import of my disability. I know that it's going to make me not to become successful as a little child growing up. One of the major reasons, apart from the development I witnessed out of maybe natural wisdom, another one is the fact that we are many in the family.
Okay.
First 4 boys, 3 last girls, and I'm the 3rd.
Wow.
So everybody moving around, walking around, running down from the upstairs down, and I can't move from morning to night. it made me know that, hey, you cannot be successful in life. So from childhood, I had already known that if it continues this way, and remember, having had this poliomyelitis, I was crawling on all fours. My legs turned topsy-turvy, and my hand was darker than your, inner dress. Then the point is, at a particular time, I became suicidal because I said, instead of allowing this to fester until I'm 20, 30, and I found out I'm not successful, why not kill myself now so that when, they are doing the roll call, I won't be there.
Yeah.
So, but one day I was looking through, probably between the age of maybe 11, 12 or thereabout, I was sitting in our house and I was looking out from the window, and I saw people pushing truck. And I asked myself, why is it that these people pushing truck have their two legs and they are not successful?
Yeah.
That means legs are not the only thing you need to become successful.
Yeah.
So I said, you can have your two legs and not be successful. And then you may not have your two legs and be successful. So that was a turning point for me. Also, apart from accepting Christ in my life, that was also a very big turning point for me to start seeing that the rules may not be legs. The rules may be other things.
Wow. Now, because from wanting to commit suicide,
Yes.
from being suicidal,
Yeah.
it's amazing to now know that you actually did not finish secondary school. And in Nigeria, we've not heard anything like that you did not finish secondary school, you stopped at JSS 3, but you went from JSS 3 to the university. How did that happen?
Well, it's a function of finding out your dynamism.
Wow.
In fact, there's something I can say God taught me, because sitting, alone most of the time, I have what I call inner conversation. So I always talk with myself, trying to find out, the rules of life. What are the things, That's why you're a product of my business skills. So you know that, I don't teach what, you find conventional, because that's why our tagline is facts you can use. I've been to a lot of places and almost all the places in the world, but we are not competing with any other business school based on infrastructure or the kind of degrees we possess, even though we have a lot of them. But the point is that we say, anytime you've taken course anywhere in the world and you are flying into Nigeria, you're going to find out very simple fact that what you learned abroad cannot apply here. Because as you are flying into Namdezigiwa or Matala Mohammed, seeing the shanties and everything, something tells you that this in Atlanta won't work here. So what I try doing in that inner conversation, I found out that there's what we call AD, or what I developed. I call it ADS and ATS. ADS stands for Automatic Delete System. That whatever I cannot change,
He just deletes.
I delete. I delete automatically. It doesn't even get to me. Number two, ATS, Automatic Transmogrification System. Whatever I cannot change, and I've tried to delete it, it's not working, I transmogrify it.
Wow.
So at a particular time, I started asking myself, well, how can I make my physical challenge something people will sit down and say, wow, this physical challenge is beautiful. And when I was marrying my wife, all the hula balloons.
Oh, it's amazing. I was coming there because I can't see any ring.
Oh,
are you married?
Yes, I'm married for 14 years. I and my wife, we don't wear rings. Yes, we don't. Now we can wear rings. We used to, but at a particular time, we decided to make it like, this thing is about understanding the commitment.
Yeah.
It's not a ring thing. People wear ring and they do the wrong things and other stuff.
Yeah.
We decided that we make our rules. We try to say, in my book, Discover Yourself, I say every convention was once unconventional.
Wow.
Now the point is that the first person that that had a bachelor's, who had a bachelor's before him, who supervised his project, the first person that had a master's, who supervised his thesis, the first person that had a PhD, who supervised his dissertation, and the first person that became a professor, who assessed him.
True.
So when you understand that life, were you sitting there the day they were making that law, and they want to bind you on the assumption? I say, no, you can't bind me on those assumptions and all those kind of things. So now the same ideology is the reason I went to university earlier. Why? Because I felt, if I'm understanding these books, my brother came back from school and I saw his about biochemistry, PNOKK physics, I saw his modern biology. Because I don't go out. Automatic transmogrification system. I don't go out. So what can I do with my time while I'm here? you know.
So automatically you took advantage of
I
that
took advantage
moment
and started
instead of reading
those books. And when I read those books, I was understanding them from the titration to everything about it. From I said, if this is what I'm going to wait to do in the next few, why not? These people give me this, and that was how it happened. But another part is that I had to set up myself. I told my classmates, I told everybody who cared to listen, that I'm going to go to university from JSS through SS1. I know now they took it out of context. And when I'm passing, they said, this one that said you will go to university from JSS and all those. So it was like a byword, like the seniors, like, you know, at the end of the day, even when I was tired of that dream, I couldn't leave that dream. I need to accomplish that dream because my friends will ask me how much. That's why I encourage people, set yourself up whenever you have a dream, so that even when you are tired of that dream, you can't go back.
Talking about the fact that, you know, there are a lot of people that are what we call enemies of progress these days. They just want you to fall. So that, you know, that's why we're doing this. So
you can take them as your friends, friends of progress.
Because eventually they are pushing you.
Who are actually making you to go ahead with the dream.
Wow, this is amazing. Talking about laws in Nigeria and issues regarding disability, I discovered that a lot of disabled people, you know, would have been to the National Assembly to complain about the fact that they're not being considered when it comes to making laws, building government agencies, having government buildings. You know, sometimes it's difficult for them because they're not giving jobs. They are not, in fact, if you go to the university, you find out that the staircase is the same staircase that everybody is using. They are not considering whether you have to use a wheelchair or whatever. How did you manage to pass through all the schools and these challenges without seeing that as an excuse, and yet you're still successful?
In my failure algorithm, you know, I've developed quite a lot of algorithms from success algorithm to growth to failure. In failure algorithm, the E there, F stands for fearization of trying. A stands for ask no question. I, intentionalization definitely. Okay, I shouldn't finish. The E stands for excusitization of responsibility. The truth is that really you came alone into this world. I have twins. You see, I have twins, but they didn't come out the same time. They are 6 minutes apart, meaning that you are going to come out one person at a time. So the point is very simple. Immediately you don't understand that nobody is rooting for you, and then you have entitlement mentality, we are going to suffer quite a lot. You see, the governance, government structure in Nigeria, and in Africa for that matter, has issues. Now, one of the major things about governance in Africa is that, I'm not holding brief for them, the problems are too enormous. That is why you see everybody who says, give us, look at the light issue. You know, you see ministers who, when they were not ministers, they say, you know,
it's very simple.
It's a simple thing. But you know, you make them ministers of power and whatever, and they are confused and all this. What's the point? The point is very simple. When they enter that, they see the enormity of the problem, and most of them get confused. Now, the point is very simple. I studied and found out that these guys who are ruling us, you know, whenever they go in there, the problem is so overwhelming. And I say it is perfect confidence, absolute confidence, to leave your future in the hands of somebody who is a little confused. So I don't have that courage to do that. So every day I take responsibility for my own life and all those. Now, when we are in school, my friends will tell me, Kali, rain is falling. Why not you stay? And then when we go and we will take notes and come back and give it to you. I say, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Why am I saying that? I asked them, let's assume we are all interested in Joyce. And then you want to marry Joyce, I want to marry Joyce. When we graduate, will you now say, because you are disabled, you can't find women. Let me leave Joyce for you. I can find another girl. What you will say is impossible. What you will say is that you call another person and say, hello, see me, the thing done bad, so I did drag woman with disabled person. They will laugh. And they say, we don't mean this. I said, yes, allow me to go through this. Allow me to move around. Now, when I move around, what happens is that it's not easy. But I'm looking for, I want a better future for myself. I want the day I will sit down and people will come looking for me. Now, what about government? The government should become more serious. Why haven't they passed disability bill? It's so unimaginable. It's wickedness in the high places that just pass laws that will, make these things, rules that people who are building places will, how much will it cost to put the around? How much will it cost to do the, but government is not doing that. So I encourage them, if they're watching, to actually do something about this. These guys are blind, lame. There's one in my school. The day I saw him, I was coming up from lecture hall. Of course, remember, I'm also a lecturer in the university.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult, me walking around the school because there's no other provision for me.
Yeah.
I saw this boy, his name is Chukudi. He's lame, and then he also has one of his hands cut. And I saw him with his thumb trying to push his wheelchair and all this. And they're going to the second floor to take lectures and all this. That day, I cried because how can this guy manage? Thank goodness he has graduated. I know because I kept tab with him. I took his number. I was trying to. So the point is that while the government, I encourage them to do something. But if you are physically challenged and disabled, don't live your life solely in their hands.
Yeah.
Because when the rope holes are caught, I say it's because this thing is because people don't praise you for what for your excuses.
Yeah.
They praise you for what you conquered.
Yeah.
Excuse is the most beautiful bride that has no groom.
I'm sure my viewers are listening to this because really it's inspiring who you have come to be, to have not relaxed and feel that okay, I can always I have a genuine excuse because at least people can see that I'm disabled. Yeah. I just want you to tell us a little about Sean Cussons Business School. That is what you do. That is your baby.
Yes.
You teach a lot of people about success and how they can overcome the things that they're facing in life and become big time entrepreneurs. What do you do at Sean Cussons Business School?
Yeah, Sean Cussons is a group. We have a business school, we have a consulting firm, we have other things in between. Now, establishing Sean Cussons for me, being a university academic, I saw the gap in schools. The major gap I saw is that, first of all, you are returned as a lecturer normally. Not now that a lot of things have been bastardized. You are returned as a lecturer because you are a best student, probably like people like us.
Yeah.
We are best students. We are returned. Why were you returned? You are returned for reading and understanding concepts, and then being able to have a memory to actually bring it back to write in a book and then make a first class. Now that's why you are returned. But is it how the outside world works? No. It's not how it works. In school, you are returned for your memory and keeping to rules. In the outside world, you are returned or you are rewarded for imagination and breaking the rules.
True.
That's what you are returned. What did Bill Gates do? He broke the rules. What did Jeff Bezos do? He broke the rules. The Conga guys broke the rules. The Amazon. Whatever you think about, it's about breaking rules.
Yeah.
iPhone, iPod, iPad, they broke rules. They said we're not comfortable with this existing at the moment.
We're going outside the box.
We're going to think outside the box because inside the box, the comfort zone, there is no magic. It's only outside the comfort zone that you have magic. So having said that, I found out that, being part of that system, I found out that there's a problem. The problem is that the lecturers who are teaching you, professors of entrepreneurial marketing, who had never sold a pencil, professors of atmospheric physics, professors, and they say it's not our job to sell. Hey, excuse me, are you kidding me? Why are you imparting in the kids? You see. Now, that is why you have the Michael Porters of this world, the Jim Collins of this world, and other. They try to interact. Let the gown meet the town. Yeah. So when I found that problem, what I did was, how can I bridge that gap? So I decided to build an organization where you can get facts you can use immediately. Sure. So instead of telling you how they do it in Harvard, how they do it, this morning I was teaching business success modeling to my business school students. And there's something, somebody was asking the question about, sometimes you have an idea, but you are afraid to actually bring it out there. I say you're a perfectionist. Now, don't be a perfectionist. Don't seek for perfection, seek for progress. As far as you are moving. And I try to bring out Red Hoffman's quote. Red Hoffman is the co-founder, owner of LinkedIn. And when I brought it, one of the things he said, an entrepreneur is that person who flies off a cliff, the top of the mountain, and as he's falling down, he's assembling what? An aeroplane. But you should have assembled the aeroplane before coming down. So the point became that we try to find out what is lacking in the normal system, and that's what we are doing there. So from executive management courses and business and management and digital marketing in every area to cover that gap, employability skills, entrepreneurship, job creation, and others. And so we do quite a lot for United Nations Industrial Development Organization, for HP Learning Initiative, for entrepreneurs, for universities. We've consulted for almost all the high institutions in Nigeria, major high institutions in Nigeria, and all those, because we are trying to build them to understand that they have so much manpower, they should do so much with it. So you have professors of entrepreneurship, professors of oceanography, professors. What are they doing in the society? They shouldn't be just writing papers.
This is interesting.
They should also go out there. That's why you train children and you bring them to the market to work for Shell, to work for MTN. And Shell says, we don't need these people, because you never interacted with Shell before you started teaching them. You never interacted with MTN and all those companies before you started teaching them.
Okay, sir. I think we have come to almost the end of the show. And I would want you to say your final words, really, because I have discovered that we live in a Nigeria where everybody is waiting for Buhari to do magic. We all waited for good luck at some point to do magic. We waited for Obasanjo and so many other people, so many of our leaders. And everybody is waiting and waiting and waiting. If you keep waiting and making excuses at the age of 30, 35, 40, you're still living in your parents' house. You keep saying there is nothing to do. This is somebody like you who had all these excuses, but yet you decided that you were not gonna wait for manna to fall from heaven. What are your final words to the youth of Nigeria?
Well, my final words in the first place is that, the governments can do their best, so they can come and do your thing for you. So you need to take responsibility about your life. And when you go up there, when you die and you live here, I heard that in Islam, when those who had buried you take 10 steps away, the angel will come and ask the question, what did you do with your life? Now in Christianity also, they say after death, what? Judgment. Yes. Now, my final words, could be encapsulated in the 4 things I encourage people not to be. Number 1, never be an encyclopedia. Encyclopedia knows so much and does nothing with what it knows. But be a computer. A computer knows so little and does so much with what it knows. Nobody will reward you for what you know. People will reward you for what you do with what you know. That is why people don't pay for general knowledge. What's the name of the Queen of England? What's the distance from here to the sun? But people don't pay for that. They pay for specific knowledge. Now, number 2, don't be always a spectator. Be what? Be an actor. When you had watched for a little time, ask, how can I play? Will I be the cameraman? Will I be the still picture person? Will I be the gaffer? Will I be the producer? Will I be the, what can you, the continuity person? What can you be? Number 3, I encourage people, don't be don't be a spectator, always be an actor. Number 3, don't be a chameleon. A chameleon takes color from the environment. Nigeria, Buhari is not doing it. The president is don't be a chameleon. NEPA is not working. This country is frustrating. Don't be a chameleon. Be what? Be a painter. A chameleon takes color from the environment, but a painter sees the color it doesn't like in the environment and he changes it to the color he likes. The 4th one, don't be a thermometer. A thermometer responds to what is happening outside of it. But you see, a thermostat, sets its own route. And when it gets to that, it can decide to up it. Say, at this point, I need to feel this way. At this point, I need to stop or start. But when it gets to that point, you can also say, I'm changing this route and all those. That's if you're waiting for people, I encourage you, nobody's rooting for you. This life is yours. You're going to root for yourself.
Wow. It has been nice. It has been really amazing having you on the show. That was Dr. Cussons. You're still on Right Turn with Joyce. We will go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still on Right Turn with Joyce. We have had a most amazing time with Dr. Cussons. Remember, the future belongs to those who prepare for it. Thank you very much for watching and God bless you.